Hi, welcome to Get a Clue Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, C-L-U-E, about a game. And today we're going to continue my top 100 with numbers 70 to 61. Okay? 70 to 61. There'll be a little bit of jiggling because the first two on this list are actually on one side of the paper and all the rest of the list is on another side of the paper. So I'm going to have to pick up this paper and yeah, that always will move this little table that I have. I have 4 game boxes stacked up so that I can put my tablet on top so I can record all of this. Yeah, high tech. Anyway, let's start because, you know, this is why you're watching. Number 70. My number 70 game that of all time, right this moment, is Stella the Dixit Universe. Stella the Dixit Universe, the box looks like this, okay? Oh, my dog has seen someone outside. So anyway, Stella, excuse me, Aggie, quiet. No. Good girl. Shh. So anyway, she just mumbled, she's grumbled. You don't let me bark. Okay, so anyway, so Stella uses the same cards as Dixit, or same type of cards as Dixit. It's part of the Dixit universe. The back of the cards say Dixit on it. You can use Dixit cards to play Stella. I know. So yeah, so these pictures are it's a card game, kind of. You do in Dixit is a card game. Stella has a couple little things that change it up a little bit. Actually, a lot of people who play Dixit and Stella have found that Stella is easier to explain and get to the table for people who have never played Dixit or Stella, who might not be big gamers. So Stella is, if you're going to go for one or the other, personally, I would say get Stella, because you can always play Dixit with the Stella cards if you really wanted to, but the Stella game is a little bit nicer. The concept is you'll have a grid set up of cards, 4 by 4 or something like that, 5 by 3. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's 5 by 3. Anyway, and then you're going to have there'll be a card that gives a theme or an action type of word, like adventurous, type something like that, or adventurer, or something like that. And so you're going to have a little wipe off board that has the same line grid as what the cards are set out at, and you're going to X out each place that has a card whose picture you think someone else will also choose as something for adventure or adventure or adventurous or whatever the word is. Okay, so once everyone is done, then you're going to put a token on a line of that is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, of how many you've X'd out on your board. And whoever happens to be the highest up, they go first. And so you'll point to one of the cards and say, has anyone else X'd out that one? Chosen that one? Oh, good. One other person. Okay, so we get points. And then you keep on doing that until you've done all of the cards, unless you picked a card that no one else had picked out. And then you stop. You can't go past that, even if you have 2 more that might match somebody, but no. And so, yeah. Now, if you're not the highest bidder, highest person for Xing, you will also have to stop when you get to a card that no one else has picked, but you're going to be getting double the points as the person who chose the most X'd out. So you really don't want to necessarily be the one with the most, because then you have the chance of only getting 1 point per card instead of 2 points per card, that kind of thing. So there's a balancing there, but it's just picking out a picture that might have something to do with the word that gets picked out of the box. Simple. It's a very easy game and very pretty. Those cards are beautiful. All the Dixit cards are beautiful. But Stella, definitely a wonderful light game that you can really teach in 2 minutes at the most. My number 69, I talked too much about number 70. 69 is Paint the Roses, which is the game that I bought in honor of my brother who passed away almost a year ago. In about a month, it'll be a year. Or less than a month and a half, 4 weeks. Anyway, Paint the Roses is a cooperative game, very tough to win. You're being chased by the red Queen of Hearts the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, and your gardener's trying to make the garden exactly what she wants. My dog is whining. Aggie, no. Sorry. Okay, so she's trying to catch you making a mistake, and you're trying to do just right. It really is a deduction game. You will be choosing a difficulty card of 1, 2, 3, a goal card. If it's a 1, you can move ahead 1. If it's a 2, you can move ahead 2. If it's a 3, you can move ahead 3. If you get it correct amongst you, you will have a card, and you'll have these little chipboard flowers, and you will place them next to something that will or won't, that hopefully will complete the goal that you have. And then you have certain little wooden pieces, whatever, that you'll place there saying this one and this one comply with what I'm trying to get you to guess. It could be that the flowers are the same color, or that one flower is red and one is pink. It could be that the design is a club or a heart, or 2 clubs or something like that. And you're trying to guess what each, when it's somebody else's turn, you're trying to work together to guess what their card is, their goal card. And if you get it correct, then you move that many steps. And still the queen will move 1 step at the beginning of the game. If you get it wrong, she goes 2 steps and you don't move. And then there's different places where she will get faster, and you add things and she gets faster, and it's almost impossible. If you don't get way ahead of her near the beginning of the game, you're not going to make it. She's going to catch you before you get to it. It's a cooperative game, and again, I'm talking a lot about these games. Okay, number 68. Number 6, oh, I never told you what those other 2 were. Stella came out in 2021. That was my number 70. It was my number 63 last year, and it was new to me the previous year, so I don't have it a score for it. And Paint the Roses was new to me this year. It came out in 2022, but I played it for the first time in 2023. Okay, number 68 came out in 2012. Number 68 is the original Machiko. There is a Machiko 2 that came out a couple years ago now. but I only have the first Machiko. And for me, that's fine. If you have Machiko and you really, it's like your favorite game, then by all means, step up and get Machiko too. But it's my number 68. So obviously it's not my top 10 that I need to have something more of it. I enjoy playing it. I have no problems playing it, but it's not in my top 50, or, I mean, it's number 68. Last year was number 77, and the year before that it was number 86. So it is going up a little at a time, but it's still, I mean, it's in my top 100, so I'll play it. Anything in my top 100. I mean, it's like, you want to play any of these, and I'll be happy to play them because I enjoy them all. If they made the top 100, I really like it. Anyway, but Machiko is the game that I suggest for people who are not hobbyists, who have played who like to play Monopoly. Not all of Monopoly, not the it lasts forever part, no, not the gotcha part. But the buying property part, if you like that buying property part, Machiko is a very nice way of playing a game where you're buying property and getting benefits from those properties, but very few of those properties hurt someone else. A couple of them do, but not the way Monopoly is. And it's a much quicker game. I've done a video on it. So I would say it's a 30-45 minute game. It's not a 3-hour game, nothing like that. Oh, I am moving around a lot like a couple videos ago. I need to calm down. Anyway, Machiko is my number 68. It's a card game. You can buy cards, and roll dice, and depending on what cards you own, to if the dice will give you money or points. I can't remember. I think it's money. It might be points that you buy more cards with. Yeah. My number 67 is new to me this year, but it came out in 2020, and it is New York Zoo. New York Zoo is a tile laying game where you're going to, and a rondelle, okay? A rondelle means that you're going to be going around a track, around and around, rondelle. And on this track, there'll be places where you can pick up a polyomino-shaped piece of chipboard. Polyomino being Tetris shaped. And so you have these different shapes, and then you're playing them, you're creating your best zoo. And so yes, you're going around picking up, and then you're placing little wooden meeples of animals onto their pens in your zoo. And if you have enough of them, then they will multiply. And you need to already have a place for them to go if they multiply too big for that current pen. So you're just creating a zoo. That's it. But yes, I love polyomino shaped pieces in games. I love tile laying games. So this is definitely up my street, up my alley. Again, it's the first time on my list. It's new this past year for me. It came out in 2020, and it's my current number 67. My number 66 is a little, oh, I didn't show you the picture, did I? That's what the picture of New York Zoo looks like. Okay? Isn't it adorable? Yeah. And you get all those little animals and little wooden figures. My number 66 came out in 2022, but it's new to me this year. I played it for the first time in 2023, and it is called Birds of a Feather, Western North America. Don't just stop with Birds of a Feather if you're searching, because you'll get a game that came out years before, but Birds of a Feather came out in 2022. It's my number 66, and it is a card game. It plays 1 to 7 players in 20 minutes. So you're looking for a simple card game that can be played quickly with a lot of people. And this is a pretty good choice. Birds of a Feather, Western North America. Long name, but it's a cool little card game. Very easy. Some set collection, if I remember correctly. It's been a little while since I last played it. Yeah, hold on. I'll pull it up. Birds of a Feather. Okay, Birds of a Feather. Let me look at the other pictures that they have here. Oh, yeah. Okay. I recall this now. Beautiful, colorful cards. The outside cover doesn't do justice to how bright and colorful this is, but it's different types. See these different types, and it's kind of like you'll have a sheet where you're going to be checking off, getting points for the right combination of. This is like the drafting place where you're choosing from. Yeah, I've played it mostly solo because it does have that solo mode, and so I played it mostly solo. It's my number 66, new to me this year. And next is my number 65, came out in 2022. Last year it was number 31. Previous year I didn't have it, so it was new to me. And this is one that I decided I grabbed. It was close by, so I grabbed it to show the actual box. There you go. Dungeons, Dice, and Danger by Aaliyah. Dungeons, Dice, and Danger. Richard Garfield, he's a well-known game designer. And it is a roll and write. And there are 4 different dungeons to get through. Now, like I said, this year it's my number 67. Last year was my number 31. I mean 65, sorry. 65. Last year was my number 31. Why is it going up? I know why. Because I will not play it solo again. The solo mode is absolutely impossible. It's just so aggravating, so against you that you just can't win. I much rather play with one other person or more, but at least one other person so we can play the regular rules, because the solo rules are crud. Despise them so much. So yeah, so it's kind of gone down because I can't play it solo. I just won't. It's just so aggravating. I mean, you can tell, huh? But I love playing it when I have someone else to play it with. So it's still in my top 100 because I like playing it, but it's lower because I won't play it solo. And that is my number 65, Dungeons, Dice, and Danger. My number 64 is also new to me this year, and it is a very simple card game called Gap. Gap. Okay? Came out in 2022. New for me to play. I just played it at around Christmas time. This is when I played it. You're trying, literally, it's a gap. Your final score will be to do with how big is your gap between your highest number and your lowest number, or the column of color, the column that has the most cards in it, and the column that has the least in it. So let's say you have 5 in this column and 2 in this one. Your final score for that round is 3. Very low points in this game, but I think you can make it as long as you want or as short as you want. You can play it to 10 points or 9 points, 11, 13, 15. There are certain numbers suggested in the rule book, but truthfully, you can choose how long you want this game to be or not, or to do more than one game and make them shorter games, however you like, because really at the end of a round, Whatever grouping of color you have that has the longest group and the shortest, you subtract the shortest from the longest, and that is your score for that round. I had rounds where it was 1. And I don't think I had a round anything more than 3 points. And I was playing it with my sister, and I think she beat me, but again, never getting more than 3. She might have had one with 5 one time. Wow, no wonder she won. Anyway, that is Gap. Simple card game. Now, my number 63, you go from simple to a bit crunchy, still only a card game. Only cards involved, but they're beautiful cards. And don't let the beauty of Arboretum confuse you into thinking it's a too simple for me game. Arboretum came out in 2015. Last year it was my number 30. The year before that was my number 20. Why does it keep on going down to now 63? Because once somebody plays it with me, they don't want to play it again, because at the beginning, it looks so simple, but then it becomes, it's a thinker game. It's like you're creating a grid in front of you with cards with these beautiful flowering, most of them, not all of them are flowering, I don't think, beautiful trees. I love the colors, I love the artwork, and yet people who are expecting it to be a light game, I mean, and it is a medium light game. It's not a heavy game, it's not a medium, but it looks like it would be so simple, like Uno, pretty, oh yeah, okay, let's play this game. And then they go, oh, I have no points because I forgot about having the right ones still in my hand to count the ones that I put in front of me. So if you want a game that, first of all, is just a card game, beautiful, but a little crunchy, Arboretum is the one for you. And that is my number 63. My number 62 came out in 2022, and it was first played by me this past year, so it is new on my list, and it is Planted. Now, Planted originally came out as a Target store exclusive, and for months that's the only place you could find it, was at Target. I got mad at Target because the first week it was out, they priced it at $20. And as soon as the first week was done, they upped it to $30. I was not happy with them when they did that, because I had not had a chance to get to the store that first week it was out. And so all of a sudden it was 50% more expensive. And so I was stubborn, my stubbornness, and I refused to buy it. I waited months, and then finally I bought it. And okay, this is something that everyone who has talked about this game says. The components are way up there for the price. The components are beautiful. The little thing, the sunlight, the raindrops, the little wooden pieces that represent plant food. I mean, they're beautiful, high-end components. And a $30 game, we're talking you can get Sorry for $27. So to get this type of game, and it has a bag in there to pull things out of, it's just a very well-made game. And like I said, I played it for the first time this year, and it's up at number 62. I have over 350 games on my list that I got into order. The fact that it made it up to 62 tells you that I enjoy this game. It's a set collection type of game. You're collecting things, you're paying for things, you're collecting the resources so that you can water and sunshine and whatever the cards, because the cards are asking for certain items, and if you can provide the certain items, then you get the points for that card, and things like that. I love this little game, and now it's available in other places, but now it's been out for a couple years. If you see it, if you want it, I would keep an eye out for it. I don't know if they've done another printing of it, but if you can get your hands on it, not more than $30, I mean, don't pay a scalper. But it is a good game. It's a simple game. It's a good family-friendly game. Yeah, it's all about planting. If you have a friend who likes to work in the garden, this might be a theme that will, and it's simple enough of a theme that, and it goes with the theme. The gameplay goes well with the planting theme. So yeah, planted, my number 62. My number 61 is another card game, and this card game is for 2 to 4 players. It came out in 2017. Last year it was my number 51. Previous to that, it was new to me, so I did not have it on my list 2 years ago. But it is this year my number 61. It is a light card game where you are, called Cat Lady, where you are collecting cats and food to make them happy. And if they're well fed, then they're going to be worth points at the end of the game for you. But there are also toys and other things that you can buy to make them even happier. And so basically it's a grid of cards that are just flipped over, and some will have cats and some will have food, different kinds of food, some will have different toys, and and when it's your turn, you get to pick either a column or a row of 3 cards. So you say, okay, I'm going to take these 3 cards right here, and then they get replenished, but the next person can't choose from that same column. They have to choose from a different column or row. But you then have cats and food. If you get a food card, you get the food and turn in the card because you got the food, and that's the game. That's it. It's a great light game. Again, theme. If someone is into cats, great game to draw them in, game that they would probably enjoy, and it's simple enough to pick up very quickly. Not on my list, and I'll just tell you this now, is this one right here, Dog Lover. I just got it for Christmas, so it's very new to me. And it is by the same people, AEG, who made Cat Lady. Okay, same people. And Dog Lover plays similar, but it's a degree more difficult. So if you have someone who likes animals in general, start them off with Cat Lady. Once you and they are comfortable with Cat Lady, you can always go on up to Dog Lover. Grid, there's just an extra column with a little bit extra things, learning tricks and stuff like that. But Cat Lady is my number 61, and that is the end of this list. 70 to 61. There you have it. And now I'll say goodbye, but first of all, God bless you and your family, and happy gaming. Bye.